We're joined by Santa Barbara head coach Checketts. Sean Fagan, you're up first.
Thanks for being here, Coach. So, how would you sum up this postseason with how your team performed throughout the entire regional?
I think our kids were competitive, and we had a chance to win every game that we were in, and we didn't execute today. We had some at-bats get away from us, a couple of big pitches. Tip our caps to Arizona. They were good and on it, and did some damage with some leverage. Played fantastic defense most of the games that we played them. But I thought our kids represented well and came in and played their guts out and left it all out there.
So one of the toughest things, of course, always at the end of these games is that the senior class that you had coached for so long will now leave the school. So if you could, how proud are you of the seniors that you've had on this team and how far they carried it going into the postseason?
Well, they did a great job. And I think everybody across the country has similar stories about, overcoming things, and whether it's COVID related or health related. But, we lost our Friday starter 4 weeks into the season. Our two starting middle infielders, McLean and Castanon, were out for 70% of the season. And the fact that we were able to win 39 games and get into the postseason with three of our best players being out is something that I'm proud of. And I'm proud of the way that some of those young guys that got inserted in those spots, Jordan Sprinkle, who's going to be a star, and Zach Rodriguez, who's going to be a star, and then Brock Mortensen, and those guys emerging when they had opportunities. Those guys were fantastic for us. It's a weird year. It's hard. You look at who's a senior, who's graduating. We've got some guys graduating that have eligibility left. So it's you look at actually who's done with their eligibility. We only have a couple of those guys that are actually done with their eligibility, but we have a number of other guys that are going to either graduate, move on to professional baseball. We're really proud of those guys and all that they accomplished this year. I thought they had a fantastic year.
Michael Lev, you're next.
Coach, you guys scored 27 runs in 2 games against Oklahoma State, only 2 runs in 2 games against Arizona. What do you think was the difference offensively, between those 2 sets of games?
We're playing a West Coast team that plays a lot of West Coast baseball. And when we played Oklahoma State, we played a team that doesn't play a West Coast style of baseball. So our ability to put pressure on them from the short game, base running, a lot of those things we were able to do. And that's a lot more difficult to do against an Arizona team that's plays against that consistently. And so, it was harder for us to do that. And then, the pitching for Arizona, they did a good job. They made big pitches when they needed to. We weren't able to get swings off. We had more chances today and, squandered that with some non-execution on some short game stuff that we tried to do, and then the double plays. And, but, some of it was, the quality of the pitching that we were facing in Arizona's on Arizona's team. They were good, and they didn't give us a lot of room to breathe, and they mixed and matched. And when we did have some opportunities, we weren't able to maximize those in those situations.
It's obviously a lot harder to play 2 games in one day than 1 game in one day. How do you feel like your guys met the challenge of, winning that first game and coming back and battling to the very end in the nightcap?
Yeah, I thought they were competitive today, and we came out and we landed some blows early, and we had some chances. I thought J.D. Callahan was outstanding until he ran out of gas there. I should have got him out a little bit earlier. That inning was starting to go sideways on him. He got barreled up and missed on a couple pitches, and I stayed with him too long in that situation. He had really pitched well up to that point. But, I told our guys this going into it after we lost last night. I said, you guys are built for this. We played 4-game weekends for 10 of the last 11 weekends. We played 36 innings of baseball. And so, playing a doubleheader was something that those guys were prepared for and used to. And I thought they hung it out there and were competitive and gave a really good effort for, 18 innings.
So you just sort of made a case for West Coast baseball. There were a lot of complaints on Selection Monday around these parts about, maybe Pac-12 teams not being seeded as high as people around here thought, Big West teams not making the tournament at all. Do you feel like the results sort of speak for themselves and you make the case by playing well in these situations?
Well, yeah, I mean, I think we were a deserving team. There's no question about that. And that, I mean, 39 wins on the West Coast is very difficult to do. There's not a lot of free wins there. Now we're playing another West Coast team today, and I thought it was, we had some good battles with Arizona and had our chances. And but yeah, I think, I think we were deserving. I think we represented well. I think highly of West Coast baseball, and I do think. I think the RPI is broken, but unless we're going to fix that, I don't know what we do.
Any other questions for Coach Checketts? All right. Thank you, Coach.
Thanks, guys.